Hey everybody, Dwayne Wally here with Tourney Talk. How are you tonight? It's Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Central. I'm 30 minutes late. Y'all share this up for me, please. And also, if you're just joining us, make sure that you hit that button that says, we want to know who you are so we can see you through StreamYard. Click that button and let's get this thing going. This is about our sixth interview of tournament directors, and what we're doing on Tourney Talk is, as most of you know, I own TourneyX, and we've got nearly a little over 1,100 tournament directors and 70,000 plus users currently on TourneyX. And what we're doing is a little something different. A lot of the directors will pull in anglers, and they'll talk to the anglers about how their day was and what have you. What I want to do is a little twist is I wanted to pull in the directors and talk to the directors, because they really don't get a chance to, showcase those directors. We'll turn the light on here. Probably too bright. Hold on. And, I think that I'm hitting the minus button, but it's not working. In that aspect of bringing the directors on, they really don't get a chance to talk about, what they go through and the things that they do to run these events and run these tournaments and judge fish and the things they go through. So we wanted to come up with an idea. We came up with an idea to run something called Tourney Talk. So we're fortunate to be able to have people on board that wants to come on and visit. Tonight we're going to talk to Frankie the Wild Man Slay Nation Master Blaster. He's coming on board. We're going to bring him in right now, and let's do it. Hello, Frankie.
What's up, players?
Get out. Let's
What's
go.
Up, man?
Hey, brother.
How we doing, buddy?
I'm good. So we were just talking a minute ago, and some people are like, how do you pronounce your last name, Frank? I'm gonna let you. I want you to tell the nation what is your real last name so that they'll know. And go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. What's going on, brother? Thanks for having us on. So the last name is pronounced Pollifrone, but because no one ever gets it right, I just say Provolone. Right? I used to work in sales for a little bit, and that was my icebreaker. Like if I had to talk to a secretary to get to a decision maker, I'd be like, yeah, Frankie Provolone. And they would always laugh. And that was a great way to kind of break the ice. And it just, everybody, and I was like, from now on, just call me Provolone, because I hear Pollifrone, yeah, forget, whatever. I don't get offended, but I just leave it at this, man.
Awesome, man. Well, welcome to the show, man. We met, I don't know how long it's been since we've met, probably a couple of years now.
Yeah, 3-4 years.
I've watched Slay Nation grow. I didn't know what the heck Slay Nation was in the very beginning. I saw the Slay Nation, and I think a lot of people are that way too. They're like, what is Slay Nation? What is it all about? They see that name, but they really don't know. Man, it's a kicking community. I mean, it's unreal what you've created and the camaraderie that goes in with Slay Nation and all that stuff. So tell us a little about Slay Nation, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah. So, Slay Nation started in 2019. That was our first season. And, I was directing before I started Slay Nation, right? I was directing for a small, not even a series. I don't even know what it was. It was a fella that posted something out of Massachusetts looking for a director in Connecticut to run a small boat series, a canoe, kayak, john boat tournaments. And I was like, oh, this is right up I was literally in a hospital when I saw the post. My wife, we were in a hospital. She was about to, give birth to our son, Jackson. And I saw the post on Facebook, and I hit up my buddy, because we always fish out of my 16-foot Old Town canoe. And I was like, dude, this is like for us, man. We've always talked about fishing tournaments together in a canoe. And so I started directing in Connecticut. fell in love with directing, right? I had previously, I fished, big boat tournaments as a non-boater and draw trails for like 7 years. Loved directing, and then started doing my own thing and created Slay Nation. And we provide tournament opportunities for the everyday angler through a variety of series, right? Kayak series, small vessel series, which is the bread and butter, which is our kayak, canoe, john boat events. We've broadened and offered lady only online series to offer something to all the
Lady
lady anglers,
Slayers.
the lady
Yeah.
slayers. Yep. We have a horsepower series now. We kind of bumped up a series, not to big boats, not to the glitter boats just yet, but something that offers like right past the John boat builders
Yep.
and the outboards, right? So 75 horsepower max, that little niche in between there. And we offer a next generation, which is a youth online series as well, 8 to 14-year-olds. And that's what we do. We're a tournament organization.
Wow. Wow. So at one time, was it like tiny boat? I know you call it, some people call it tiny boat. I guess what is that when they say tiny boat? What does that mean? Does that have anything to do with kayaks or anything, or is that just the small boat with the motors on it, or what?
Yeah, I think the word tiny boat is anything that's, anything that you're able to modify yourself. Whether, to me, honestly, I think, anything under, 16-foot aluminum boat, Starcraft, grandpa's old thing that you probably got laying on the back fence in the backyard. That's what comes to my mind when I think tiny boat. I think kayak, I think canoe. I think what, for me personally, I always think of the types of vessels that the everyday person probably has
Mhm.
sitting in their garage or in their backyard. To me, I think that's, that would be the equivalent of a tiny boat, tiny vessel. All
And the
right.
cool part is that gives people the opportunity to come out and fish, and that normally wouldn't have those opportunities. Not specifically kayak, not specifically a glitter boat, but yeah, hey, my granddad left me this boat. I think I want to go out and fish a little bit. Where do I go? What's a Slay
Well,
Nation? That kind of thing. I mean, it's a great entry
yeah,
into the community and get in there, get with it and learn what's all about.
that's exactly what it is. I mean, and I think we all agree, and all your past guests, we all agree that fishing led us to where we all are now, all the friends we've made. Without that in our lives, it's just the monotony of going to work every day, doing the same thing. You need to have something that makes you feel like you're living other than your family and your friends. And I think, what we try to do with it is not compete with anything out there. We just try to do something where, all right, let's try to do something inclusive for someone that does have a canoe, like, I mean, or who does have a kayak, who does have a small boat. Like, where can I want to get in a tournament fishing? I hear about it, I watch it, Bassmaster, but how do I get involved? And now there, we like to, say that we have an opportunity for that person.
Cool, cool. So let's go back a little bit. I always ask these questions because I like to hear the answers. How far back did Frankie? How old were you when you started fishing? I want to know the beginnings. Give us a little
Yeah,
bit about that. Yeah, man.
yeah, absolutely. So, for me, when I was, my uncle was like that. He was like the outdoorsman of our family, right? Uncle Wally, right? We call him, his name was Uncle Wally. Yep. Crazy. He had a nice handlebar mustache. He was a big, burly guy, but the sweetest guy ever. Yep. And his real name was Joe, but because of his handlebar, people used to think he resembled like a walrus. So his nickname was always Wally. And that's how, Uncle Wally. And so that was a big influence in my life growing up because my dad's from Brooklyn. You know, he's playing drums and doing art. So I wasn't learning too much outdoorsy things from my dad, although he supported everything. And so we always would go camping. That was our family vacations every summer, right? It was camping. It was the same place every year, a few weeks every summer. And we moved to a house in Orange, Connecticut, and right behind the house, and this was like I was 7, 8, 9 years old, was the Whipplewog River. And there was a river right behind my house. And I mean, it was like, I've always been a fan of like Huckleberry Finn, Tom Sawyer books, being outdoors,
Mhm.
like what I always, what little boys getting dirty, getting snapping turtles. And I learned how to fish a lot back there. I mean, I fished every single day. I was catching pickerel, trout, bass, you name it. My neighbor gave me one of my first rods with a chrome Castmaster. I caught a 26-inch pickerel and just
Cool.
absolutely hooked. I mean, every day fishing every day. I had a cat that was like a dog. This cat would lickety split. I'd be on my scooter, go down the end of the road because there was a bridge. That's where the smallmouth would hide.
Mhm.
And I would go down there, and I fished my face off, to be honest with you. That's back in the days with the flying lure.
Now, how old was that roughly?
I was like 7, 8, 9. That's
Oh,
when like I really got the hook. Yeah. Yep.
so you were saying your dad's from Brooklyn, right?
Yeah. Yep.
New York, correct?
Yeah.
Right. So, I'm from down here in the South. And down here, we're in the woods. Okay.
Yeah.
And I've been to New York once, only been there once, and I had a fabulous time, man. But we
Yeah.
were,
Yeah.
we were downtown New York. We did all the, sites and places and all that. And a lot of people don't think of people in New York that get out into the woods and get out and outdoors and do the fishing and thing. And
Yeah.
I guess it's just that mindset that you're like, nah, they don't do that stuff. They're in the
Yeah.
city, but
Yep.
really you do, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, well, absolutely. And that's what it is when you think about this area, like where I teach, 10 minutes from the New York line, closest to New York City. And I think when people think of New York, right, we all think of New York City. We think of the concrete jungle, you think of the Yankees, the Mets,
Mhm.
you don't think of upstate New York, or you don't think of, now some people, if you're into fishing, you know of Oneida Lake, of
Mhm.
some of those great places up in New York. But I think the majority of people that are not from the area are like, wait, what? Connecticut, New
Yeah.
York? They
Yeah.
know about bass fishing?
Yeah. Yeah. Buddy of mine, Troy Meyerhofer, you may know Troy. He's a wilderness systems rep, or he was with when I was, back, we call it back in the day, 6, 7
Yeah.
years
Yeah.
back. And anyway, Troy, he lives like at the upper part of New York City. In other words, where the city, I guess it would be right on that border. And it's like
Okay.
his townhouse where he lives overlooks like around the Hudson River and into other places. And
Oh, it's a nice
it's like,
area.
it's right on the border of where you leave the city and you go into the woods. And he
Yes.
says, man, we got deer. We got everything up here. He said,
Oh,
it's just like
absolutely.
living in the country.
Absolutely.
And I think people, like I said, they have that perception that, New York is New York City, but they don't know that just a few miles up the road, you're out in the
Oh,
country.
oh, it's beautiful.
So,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, that's cool, man. So back to Slay Nation. So I want to know the wins and the whats and the whys. I'd like to know, like, when did you come up? I mean, I say you're the mastermind of Slay Nation. So when did you start Slay Nation? You said 2019, right? You said that right earlier.
Yeah, yep. 2019. So I was directing right? I was doing a previous series. It wasn't even a series. It was just a Mass in Connecticut thing.
Right, right.
And it took off in Connecticut, right? I had almost 60 members that first year, right? That I ever
Wow.
directed. And then, so there were, Slay Nation came out of a good and bad experience. There were things going on from the guy that I was like kind of directing under, right? I guess you could say, who was running his own little thing in Mass.
Hmm.
I was finding out he wasn't paying out, his winners. I was finding that, there were some lies going on, and I was referring him to my trophy guy, my plaque guy, Don over at Star Trophy. He got like $500 worth of trophies from him, never paid him. And
Oh
I would
no.
hit him up. I'm like, yeah. And so I got to the point where I was like, man, I'm appreciative of the opportunity to direct. I love it, but I cannot be a part of what you got going on anymore,
Yeah.
And I literally called like that next day, and I had Slay Nation in the back. Like I always mess around doing logo work and stuff like that. And I had this name picked out, Slay Nation. Like, oh, there's something about that, whether I was going to put that on a hat or a
Tugs on
shirt,
you, man, doesn't it? Yeah, it just
it,
pulls on you like I got to do
yeah, exactly. And so I sat on it, and I remember calling my buddy Eric Christo. He's the owner of Tech Baits, a soft plastic company. And I was like, Eric, he's like, what's up? We were just chatting. I'm like, dude, I left TMF, and I was like, I'm starting my own thing. I'm calling it Slay Nation. He's like, oh man. He's like, I'm totally down. Let's do it in Connecticut. And then he was in the car with a Massachusetts member of that other series, Mike Shannon. And Mike was like, dude, and that's how I found out their payments weren't going out, because Mike
it.
wasn't paid 3 times, and he finished 3rd place. And it says on the payout sheet, if you finish, X amount of anglers, X amount of pay for these spots. And every time he went up, he's like, hey man, I finished in 3rd. Don't I get $150? Oh, it didn't work out today. What do you mean didn't work? Right. So yeah. So I told, and Mikey at the time was like, dude, I'll get something going to Massachusetts. I'm like, all right, cool. And that was it. It was like Connecticut. There was no expectation to build anything, make it into anything bigger than Connecticut and Massachusetts, right? And so started messing around. I had all these little logos put together, Slay Nation, with Microsoft Paint. If anybody knows Microsoft Paint, it's old
You
school.
guys were just joking about this other night. I was watching y'all were talking. It was what's the hooligan? No, was
Oh,
that
the hooks that hoodlums were on. Yeah,
hoodlums? Yeah. Y'all were talking about Microsoft Paint the other night. I was like,
well,
man,
that's why I was talking about it, because I remember using it. Like, it's so basic. It's, it's cheap, right? Whatever. It is what it is back then. And so I am not a skilled graphic designer by any means, but I was trying. And then at that time, Amy Johnson, she lives up in New Hampshire. Amy J. Bass lady. She was like, pretty decently known and stuff on Instagram. She fished a lot. She was working with Feel Free. And she hopped on board and was like, hey, I want to direct in New Hampshire. I was like, all right, sweet. And so, but she was the only one that had like some like Photoshop experience. And she helped create the actual logo. Like at the time, it was on a gray background, black Slay Nation. I'd say, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? She's like, here, I'm going to add the treble hook. I'm like, oh, it looks great. Can you put some green on there? That's how the whole green, black, white, gray, like our little scheme came about. And that's where it all started, man. And then we would post, I was never into Facebook or Instagram, to be honest with you. And I did like one post, and someone's like, hey, is this a tournament series? Is this in Maine? I'm like,
yeah,
no.
you don't know. Yeah.
And then could it be? And I was like, I guess, I don't know. I guess, literally that's how it was. That's how New England kicked off. It was just people saying, hey, is this in New York? Is this here? And I'm like, no. And
But it could be.
And I was like, I guess I have to, interview and train you to be a director. How do we do this and charge a membership fee? Like we didn't charge a membership fee the first year. How we survived the first year with no funds was, lots of hustling.
But it's the community. It's the people that want to be part of it. I've noticed that in this community.
Okay? Yeah, that's true. That's totally true. And then,
people don't want anything. They just want to be part of it.
Yeah. And so it just kind of snowballed from there, slowly. So yeah, that was the beginning.
Right, so, how many states now? How many states go? I know we talked about this not too long ago.
Yeah, we have 23 states right now.
Wow.
So we've been growing. This is our 4th season. We started that first year, that 2019, we were in 7 states, and then we were in 17, 21, and now 23. We had a few drop off, they started new jobs, started their own business. They just couldn't dedicate themselves to directing. So we lost like Louisiana and Ohio and a few other states, but that's all right. That's going to happen. But yeah, so we've got 23 states, and we got 33 directors, right? Some states have multiple series.
Wow.
So yeah, we're slowly getting there.
Cool. And I think you were on Ike Live the other night, which is pretty cool. You guys are doing some sponsoring with those guys and all that.
Yeah, that was really cool. That all came about 2019. They did a tiny boat episode, right? And to wrap it up, we'll talk about tiny boat, like tournaments. What do you do after you have your tiny boat? People want to fish in tournaments, and they invited Slay Nation on. It was their Christmas special. We were the 3rd segment. And I mean, for me, up in the north, Ike and Ellie, right? That's somebody I've always looked up to, right? Even though he's not much older than me, but that's our local pro, like up in this area. And I mean, I was ecstatic when Brian the Carpenter was like, "Hey man, we'd love to get you on." I was like, "Get out of here!" I thought it was, I was like, "Get out of here!" And I mean, I told the whole friggin' neighborhood, everybody. I was like, "I'm going on Ike Live," and it was just great, and we've had a great relationship with them. Brian the Carpenter and Dave Haas. Dave Haas is the guy that did the Ike boat build, the John boat. They've been fishing our New Jersey series for 3 years now, and we partner with Bass University now. I was on the Bass U recently, and yeah, man, it's just for a lot of us, everyday anglers, we watch all these people that are known in the industry, and then like to just kind of now you have their cell phone numbers and you're texting them. I mean, it's awesome.
I'll tell you, the community, we talked about how people want to help. They want to be part of what you're doing. It'll be part of what TourneyX is doing. It'll be part of what Hobie's doing. I mean, they just want to be insert themselves in there, just like
Yeah.
you want to be. You wanted to be part of what they're doing.
Yeah.
With what Ike is doing and this, that, and other. And guess what? Now you're living that
Yeah.
dream. Now you're able to
Yeah.
go back and say, you know what, I did that. And
Yeah.
so that's cool. Really is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's see. I had an idea and it went right over my head. I was going down a hole. I was going to ask you a question and it's gone. I do that sometimes. I just draw blanks.
That's all right. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Anyway, so what are your expectations? Oh, that's what I was going to ask you. Let's go back one step. So what if you had when your new directors come on board, you were talking about interviewing them and talking to them, find out what they're all about.
Yeah.
So in that aspect, when you see new directors come on, like on TourneyX and other places like that, what kind of advice would you give those guys? And you have to give advice. You have to give the proper advice for these people, because guess what? They're representing you.
Yeah.
And they're representing Slay Nation. So what do you give these guys? What do you tell them?
Yeah. So when they first come on, when we first do like an interview, like what I usually look for is, someone that has done a little bit of their homework, right, about what we got going on. Because I've talked to people that I could tell they never even looked at the website. And so advice would be like kind of know the subject area or whatever you're trying, whether it's a job interview, whatever, know the company you're trying to interview for. But second is, because they all sign a director's agreement form, that means they're going to represent the company in a positive, manner, professional manner, and transparency with the members, all that stuff, everything that I give them, right? Because we have like a little onboarding kind of system, right? All the like the recipes put in place. But it's also like, hey, make sure if you need help with anything, don't, ask, because you like, if you're not sure of doing a payout, what do you provide your clubs aside from marketing? Erin Mathis. Oh yeah, she's awesome. Erin, I know you do a great job up there in Utah. And I just spoke with Cody Henley the other day. Whatchamacallit. So so you want me to what should I answer?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, man, go ahead. Yeah.
So what do you provide your clubs aside from marketing? So Aaron, all of our Slay Nation clubs, right? They're all Slay Nation directors, right? So what we do is they come under they're all part of Slay Nation. There's one club that's kind of affiliated with us, but they're still Slay Nation, which is Southern Nevada Kayak Anglers. So we help, under us, they get all of, insurance is a big one, right? For a lot of small clubs that don't charge a membership fee, it's, well, who's paying for that membership, or who's paying for that insurance, right?
Yeah. And you handle your own insurance. We talked about this.
Yeah.
A couple 3 weeks ago.
Oh yeah. I'm not. Yeah. We do literally everything in house, right? Everything is under us. Insurance is huge. So we do. I mean, other than marketing, we market all of Slay Nation, right? And then we obviously help our trails. We help them. How do you promote locally? That's probably the biggest thing I would give advice is, how do you get local support? If you're trying to build a local series, like for Slay Nation, right? We have all of our organizational sponsors and partners, right?
Right.
However, you got to, if you're trying to build a local series, reach out. No, I love partnering. I love when our clubs partner with other clubs, right? Or they partner with other local businesses. That's how you're going to build a following locally and build your community, because I'm going to promote all of Slay Nation, right?
But you can't promote those locals like they can. So
Exactly. I can't walk into your bait and tackle shop, right? And go, hey, can we, I'd love to partner. Here's what we got going on. Can I put a few flyers up? What do you have that I can hand out at our events, right? You have some business cards, whatever. I'll buy some prizes packs from you and say they're from Mom and Pa's Bait and Tackle Shop. We provide that. We do the Slay Nation, so our membership is really that's our lifeblood, right? That's how we pay for insurance. That's how we do our Slay jerseys every year. And those are a few of the things that help us stand out, is like, we're trying to build like like a club, a community where every year it's a different style Slay Nation jersey. We have people that have collected them through the years, and they get excited to get their last name on the back when we do our promo. It's also a great way to promote all of our sponsors, our partners. All the banners, all the prize stuff. So all the documents and spreadsheets, I'm taking care of all the back end stuff. So for a director, literally what they have to do is run the tournaments, right? They have to promote locally, and then reach out to any local sponsors they want to do, right? We take
Yeah, and
care of the
right, and the
rest.
and the and the and the directors actually handle the payouts, the everything. So
Yeah,
they handle the money coming in, the money going out. They handle everything on their end, correct?
yeah, they handle all the entry fees, all that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I take care of all the memberships, right? So all that comes in through the website, and I take it and I put it onto three different spreadsheets. I have a master spreadsheet, every single member, their name, right, email, address, jersey size, series they're in. I take that info and put it to the director's roster, kayak series, Michigan. All right. And then I share it with the director. It's always updated each night. And then I take that and I have to add it to, and then we have jersey spreadsheets for Sleigh Ray or
Good grief.
Sublimator, so I take all the information, and yeah, we have I mean, I have so many rosters that, but it's all organization, it's all scalability, and
Right.
making sure we don't lose track of it. And so, we do a lot of the back end work that, let's just say a director might have to do on their own if they, we're trying to start their own little series. So we take care of all that. I've got director boxes, like I'm sending out Georgia. So that's enough stuff for up to half the season. They're big sleigh banners, the sponsor banners,
Sweet.
title sponsor banners, all the stuff we get from our sponsors or we purchase, all that gets dished
And
out,
that's
you
amazing.
know, yeah, it's a lot of work, but the point of this was I want to make, we have a lot of directors that never even fished a tournament before. So there's another opportunity for someone to get their foot wet in the industry and kind of learn a few of the things in the back end, and how to run a tournament, the responsibilities. And I mean, and I tell every director, once you learn how to do it and you get your own systems in place, like I'll have stuff I recommend to
Mhm.
try, and then they kind of take it and they morph it into what works best for them. But I tell them, I say, listen, the night of your first event, that first day, yeah, you're probably going to have some hiccups. You're going to be nervous. You're going to have anxiety, whatever it might be. But I'm like, listen, at the end of the day, when you're at that boat ramp and it's done and you see the smiles, people high fiving, like, oh, great
Yep.
job, man. What were you fishing? You have that 12-year-old walk up to the winning team. Hey, I saw, what kind of bait was that? And then you have that angler talk. Like, that's what it's about. That's what fishing is. And that's how you
Yep.
grow the sport. And so I tell the directors, I'm like, that night when you go home and you see the smiles, and that's because of you. The tournament director was able to provide that opportunity for someone. All right. And now you have these friendships forming. You got, so all that melting pot, everything starts to come together, and it's intrinsic satisfaction. Like, you're going to feel, it also gives people a little purpose, right? Like, people take pride in saying I'm a tournament director, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, or they should, because they are somebody providing this, whatever it might be, an event for a group of people that otherwise would not have that. And those little things matter a lot to people.
Yes, they do. So what's the idea? How many anglers do you have in your whole everything now? Just since you have this roster, give me an idea.
Yeah, so right now, so it's still fairly early for us because a lot of our northern and Midwest, colder states haven't started. And that's a lot, right? We're top
Yeah.
heavy with the colder states. So like right now we're at like 420
Wow.
members right now, but we seen, when I go back and look at previous years and I see when the transactions come in, a lot of people procrastinate. And that's why
Yep.
that's one reason we do promo with the three last name on the back of the jersey, to try to push early memberships, because that helps feed the tank so that we can get these banners and get insurance paid for to renew it, before all these,
Yep.
because we have tournaments that start in these southern states that start early, like February,
Man, they never end. They just
and they
roll right
almost,
on through.
well,
Yeah.
that's what it is. Like I'm like, all right, what? Because literally, I'm doing Slanation stuff like every day, and I'm like, all right, do I get a little break? Nope. Florida wants to start January,
Yeah. Florida,
whatever.
Texas, all of them. They just roll right
Yeah,
on through, which is cool.
exactly. So yeah, we
Yeah.
had 700 in total last year. That was our biggest year last year. We were really happy. Our goal was 500. So this year, we set a goal. We'd love to hit 1,000 members this year, and we'll see what happens.
I'm sure you'll hit there. I'm sure you will. I mean,
I hope. I hope.
you're talking about the fishing. I mean, we're already spawning here in Mississippi. A
Mhm.
couple of buddies of mine went out this past weekend, and the spawn's already happening. So in February, it's I'm really itching to get out.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping I
Yeah.
can sneak out maybe this weekend. Who
Good for
knows?
you. Yeah, well, you deserve it, man. Try to get out there, even if it's for an hour,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I mean, we got a club here in Mississippi that we got about 400 people that are signed up in the Facebook group, but only about 20 25 of us fish,
Yep.
every event. And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it's happening this weekend, so hopefully we can sneak out, maybe fish a little bit. Maybe it's for
Awesome.
half a day, it'd be good.
Absolutely.
So yeah, Aaron, I hope that answers your question. As I said, the insurance is huge. You said the insurance is huge.
Yeah.
I had talked to Frankie about it, and he handles it all. In other words, other directors have this insurance, blah blah blah, but he said, nope, we're going to do our own. That way, we're under our own umbrella. We take care of our own
Yeah.
people, and yeah, he does it all himself. So it's cool.
Yeah.
Where do you go from here, man? Just expand, conquer? I mean, just more
Yeah.
and more people?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so what
Yeah.
states are you trying? I mean, do you even have anything up in the Pacific Northwest? Do y'all have anyone up there yet? Is that what you're?
No, we don't. I talked to a few, I've had people reach out from Oregon and Washington.
Mhm.
Our second year, I had a fellow in Washington hop on board as a director, but then he was going through a divorce, so he had to take care of priorities. We get a lot of, we're in like Northern Cali, right? That's like the
Mhm.
most we are west. We're talking about something next year in South Cal, whatever they call it,
Mhm.
SoCal.
Okay.
Get that
Mhm.
lingo. We would love to get in that Oregon area, right? Utah, Oregon, Iowa. I had a good talk with Iowa a few weeks ago. Um, and so, yeah, we want to look to expand. Like right now, I'm kind of done taking like director inquiries. Our season started. I got to concentrate on getting all of our directors prepared for the season.
Right.
So we're going to continue to do that. We got, Slay Nation, there's so many different things you could do with fishing, right? And organizations. And like, we're
Right.
going to try to do more apparel and hat stuff, right? More decals so people can purchase more of that stuff to rep. Some baits, I'd love to do a line of baits, soft plastics at some point. I already got some logos made up. Who knows? Maybe we'll be doing our own measuring boards, sleigh trays. Just saying, Dwayne, just
Uh,
saying. I got some
mm.
stuff. Got some stuff in the works. Yeah. so so we'll see that one that'll be an interesting one when hopefully it all pans out. But yeah, so we there's a whole
I
different
like
line.
that.
We
It's got a
we
nice ring to it.
Yeah, sleigh trays,
Yeah.
baby. I shouldn't give it out, but
Oh,
we're
okay.
excited.
Shh.
Yeah, I know. We got that. We've had a lot of people ask about doing like redfish series down in South Carolina, right? Some
Dude.
striper stuff. So I mean, it's just the thing is we don't want to bite off too much, then we can chew.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Keep it simple. Yeah.
exactly, I was
Keep
this
it simple.
close. A lot of people ask about the big boat tournaments, and I
Right.
was this close to starting one in Connecticut, really close. And I was like, "There's no way I could do it. I can't direct that on top of everything else and family on the
Mm.
weekends." So I didn't do it. So let's just stick with the smaller stuff now. And then we have interest in high school stuff, giving high school kids an opportunity to be directors, right? But they run like their own little high school club.
Sweet.
It doesn't mean they necessarily have to go against other high schools, but they direct their own fishing club, just like our tournaments are. It could be, anglers from their high school fishing against each other.
Wow.
It's a great leadership opportunity,
Yeah.
And for anybody that doesn't know, they're probably like, they don't know what I do really. I'm a phys ed teacher. And so that's, the youth has always been a big part of my life. So yeah, we'll see what
Right.
happens.
And I'm sure you've got kids you've got kids and young adults that are in that area that could possibly take over those roles and do well. I'm sure.
Absolutely, yeah. With the right guidance, we have one of our youngest directors that just hopped on board out of Michigan is Ben Baxter. So a cool story about him. He's a junior or senior in high school. He started up with us like 2 years ago. I offered a junior sleigh squad. It was like four kids I got, that had to interview and reach out and kind of put together a little resume, and I would teach them about things and an opportunity to learn about how to market or advertise. And I would send them free baits from our sponsors, and they would have to do poster with them, tag them, and always tag Slay Nation,
Hmm. Hmm.
and and they got a free jersey, they got the free baits a few times a season, and he went from being junior sleigh squad member to sleigh member in Michigan and winning and doing really well, and to now the director stepped down. Jeff, he's retiring and all that, and to wanting to be a director,
Wow.
and I said, Ben, I know it might be, I said, listen, let's get your parents, talk to your parents.
Hmm.
I want to make sure they don't think I'm some weirdo trying to get their son to, make some
Serial
money
killer
over
or
here.
something. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. And I was like, get them on board.
He kind of
Let
looked like it a little bit. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
the beard, and yeah, you never know with the Italian connection. Um, and so, fishing the sticks, yeah, he's gonna fish the trail. And so he has an opportunity now. It's like, Ben, not for nothing. I was like, you could be like, like this is a great stepping stone for you, and a cool leadership opportunity that you could put on your resume. And that he could put on his resume. So when he's looking for a job, and they're like, you directed a fishing tournament? Like, what does that mean? Oh, I was in charge of these, grown men and taking
Yep.
responsibility
Yep.
and stuff. I just think it's a cool deal.
I don't know if you ever thought about it, but we tried this opportunity. We tried this a couple of years ago. My wife's um, scholarships. We we had tried the scholarship thing, and it just didn't seem to want to pan out. We didn't have a lot of the young anglers,
Yeah.
and in your case now, you might actually that might be something you guys might want to do down the road. It'd be kind of cool. You
Yeah.
could bring in kids,
Hmm.
mentor them, um, watch them grow through this whole thing. I mean, I've got one young man down here in South Louisiana that I remember when he was 15 years old. He won this big tournament. He's grown now. Now he's got his own business. It's just amazing to
Oh,
see
wow.
what these young kids are doing nowadays and the
Yeah.
ideas they have.
Yeah.
They're putting them in motion, and
Yeah.
they're making it work.
Yeah, absolutely. I think kids now, there's a lot of kids that, everybody will say, oh, kids, kids these days, but some of the kids these days, they got that hustle, right? They got
Yeah.
that hustle that, I'm not saying they all do, but there's, it's good to see that. And like the scholarship thing is a great idea. That's something we can, look into at some point, at the right time, right? To offer that, because, I think it's great to give back, when you can.
Yep. 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 So, yeah, man, anything else you want to talk about or any plugs you want to make or any of your, I know you got tons and tons of sponsors and
Yeah, I
I
got the
just didn't know
list
if you
here.
want to throw something up. Yeah.
I
But
keep the
yeah, I
list.
mean, absolutely. Go ahead. And, if you want to just do that. We've had a good show. I mean, I've learned a lot about Frankie Provolone
Yeah,
or
there you go.
see, they're already lost. I forgot the other name. Anyway, Frankie P. There you go.
There you go.
Frankie P. Slay Nation.
That's what my buddies call me, Frankie P.
Frankie
Yeah.
P.
So first off, thanks for having us on, Dwayne. Obviously, we're a definite supporter of TourneyX and love what y'all
Man, I
doing
appreciate it. God, I
and love what
appreciate
you
it.
do. I mean, anytime, and everybody knows this. All directors, all anglers know that they have an issue. They call you, you pick up, and you help, man. I can't tell you how many times I've had a few tournaments and my anglers, it's always with the location thing or something, right? In the past, whatever, they call you up, that you help them every time at the end at our weigh-in and I'm doing the award ceremony. That guy, Dwayne Wally, man, he helped me out. That guy is the best all the time, here all the time. So keep doing you, man. And yeah, so we have want to, appreciate all the slayers out there, This is why we do what we do, to provide what we can, our directors. Without tournaments, y'all, right? Without
Yeah,
directors, there's no
we're not in
tournaments.
it.
It's just the way it is. So thank your local director. If they're not doing a good job, the first thing I would say before getting on them, just say, hey, man, do you need any, do you need any help? Like, hey, do you need any help before because who knows? For some people, they take on more than they can chew, but just say, hey, you need a hand, you need a co-director. And then if they're still doing a horrible job, then you let them know, right? Feedback's king. But, just thank your local TD. And I want to thank all of our sponsors, right, and our partners. So we're really fortunate. We've never had title sponsors. The last 2 years, Filthy Anglers was our title sponsor, the only one, right, we've ever had. So we're extremely grateful for that. They're not on board with us this year, but we have 6 new title sponsors for this year.
Wow.
And here they go. Yeah, we're really excited. And Monster Bass Company. So anybody, the subscription boxes. We've rebranded our, big bass or lunker, it's called Monster Bass Club, and you've probably seen post. And we like to take all these local everyday anglers and try to make them famous, right? And we put them on the Monster Bass, tag them, Monster Bass, we'll share it. Wicked Weights.
Rick real well.
Yeah. Rick, and I deal with Rafi a lot too, his right-hand man there. Wicked Weights has been with us for a long time. Tungsten Company out of New Jersey, veteran-owned, Jim Sperone. Phenomenal. Just one, tungsten's tungsten, right? Everybody, tungsten's tungsten, right? But I like to look for companies where I really, one, believe in the company, and two, the owner and anybody that's associated with the business are just great. I mean, Sam Jones, Kevin James, all great, top-notch people there. Hookset Hoodlums. That's an apparel company out of Connecticut. It took 4 years for me to even know who they were. We're connecting with Hookset Hoodlums. If you like hats, apparel, fishing, hoodies, long sleeve t-shirts, check out hooksethoodlums.com. We have a Slay Nation collaboration shirt coming out with them very soon. So I saw it. Yeah, it's for members only. So that's really cool. That's an idea they came up with. And I said, go for it. I love it. John Yacht, right? The John Yacht is a great company out of South Carolina, Jesse Button. It's an apparel company, and like the John Yacht lifestyle, like, you use a tiller, all that stuff. It's all about taking whatever boat you got, that's your yacht. You don't need to have a lot of money. It's taking pride in whatever it is you got. Sticks Fishing is a new one. And, if anybody doesn't know, Sticks Fishing is owned by Nick, the Informative Fisherman, and Travis Moran out of Cali. The cool thing about Sticks is that their rods come in a set of 6. I think of golf clubs. There's a rod for every specific situation, technique.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. And we have an incentive program with them. So if you are a Slay Nation member and you own a set of their rods, their 6-pack, and you win in a Slay Nation event, you get $100 of Sticks bucks, $100 in cash, basically, to spend. So that's really cool. And then we have a brand new soft plastic company that's supposed to launch soon, Fuse Fishing. So stay tuned for that, but I can't wait for y'all to see the baits. Viking Eyewear, RoboHawk, who's going to have a 20% off sale this weekend. Stay tuned. Slay Nation will be promoting that with our code, the code that they're giving us to promote with, the Bash Juice. Dwayne, you a coffee guy? Yeah, there it is. Slayer Select, my baby.
I need some of that, man. I really do.
I know. I'm going to have to send you some. This is my last one. I got to get some more, and then I'll send you some. This is.
I like it straight up, man. No sugar, no cream, no nothing. Black.
Oh, really?
I want it black.
Good for you. Good for you. I can't. I need to have a little color in there and some sweetness. Good for you.
No.
I'm not there yet. But yeah, Slayer Select. So this is Outdoorsman Coffee. I've been working with David Cruz there for like a year, helping them run their social media and stuff, and still on board. So this was really cool for him to, kind of allow us to present our own little Slay Nation blend. It's cool, it's like a breakfast blend. It's like a donut shop blend. So it's not, it's like the medium roast. So go check it out. You can use anybody watching Slay 15 gets you 15% off. We might have some K cups coming out soon too. So stay tuned. Onyx Life Vest, Harmony Fishing, Tech Baits, one of our longest lasting. My buddy, been with me forever. Martin's Custom Baits, Riverwise Fishing, Line Cutters, Zico Shoes. Y'all know those are the water shoes of Slay Nation. Don't be a geek, yo. Get some Zicos. That's like a slogan. I can't just whatever. You know how we get a little loopy over here. But if you want some water shoes, you could use our code CT Zico Team. Save 30% off, and that you can apply that discount to any sale they put on. They had a 50% discount. Slay Nation members used their 30 on top of that. They were getting shoes for like $12.
Dang.
Yeah.
I need to be a Slay Nation member. Crap, dude.
For real, all just a discount. Yeah, we have over 40 discounts, and I mean, they're all like 20 to 50% off. A lot of the members really get a kick out of that. P-Line's been with us for a while now. And I absolutely love their line. I actually use it. Veterans Fishing, Euro Tackle, the Bass University, Bounty Hunter Custom Baits, the American Angler Outdoors, Tiny Boat Nation sponsors our horsepower series, Kayak Cushion, right? We placed over 80. Brandon, we placed one of his largest.
I got 3 of those, man. Come on, man. Those are fine.
Yeah, those are all. I got one too for the John boat. Believe it or not, I use it, and I don't even just use it for the boat. I use it like if I go to a sporting event, I got some bleachers everywhere. You know, that thing
Yes.
is so comfy.
I got one for my butt, one for my back. I got to have both.
I like that. I got the lumbar. Yeah, that's the one I got to get. Gray Goat Lures, Omnia Fishing, Z Bait Company, Naughty Fish Outfitters, Stretching Lines, Angler Gear, Tourney Tag, Save Your Outdoors, A Dose of Real, Cat 3 Tackle, Po Bassin, Ike Live, Heat Your Meat, right? Anybody likes to cook, Heat Your Meat.
I'm getting
.net.
these stuff. I'm getting stuff from Heat Your Meat all the time, and I was wondering who the heck that was, but it must be you.
It must be. It must be. Heat Your Meat is, I'm telling you, Dwayne, Mark Serrano, he's a great guy. He's out of Connecticut too. He also sponsors. So I also own or manage one of the KFL teams, right? The Connecticut Renegades.
Right.
So he's a sponsor with that. Heat Your Meat. I mean, they have everything bagel seasoning that I absolutely love. They have rubs. I mean, you get it mild, hot. Use the code SlayNation. If you buy more than $20 worth, you'll get an extra 10% off.
Sweet.
TourneyX.com. TourneyX, right?
Thanks,
we got
man.
on the jersey, of course, on all the banners. I even got you on my boat, my trailer. I only put certain people on my boat and trailer.
I appreciate that, man.
And Fish or Die Baits and Third Eye Fishing, two newer companies that are just, their soft plastics are absolutely out of this world. And that's it. So sorry about that. It's a long list, but
no, that's fine, man. I want everybody. I mean, that's what it's all about. If we don't have those guys, then we can't roll. Okay. Period. It just doesn't happen. And it's good stuff, man. I tell you, I see you come online. You every live event comes up. I see it pop up. And I'm like, I have to go see this guy. Boom, hit that button, and you're always coming on, and you're just the life of the party, you know. And we appreciate what you're doing out there. Even when I called you up a couple of days ago and said, "Hey, man, you want to be on the scene with us?" and you're like, "Yeah, but I got to put my kids down." That just shows a lot. Well, I mean, I'm just going on this. It just shows that you got your priorities straight. Okay. And we appreciate what you're doing from the family side all the way down to the Slay Nation side. And you're one hell of a guy. And we appreciate that, man.
I appreciate that, Dwayne. It means a lot, man. And keep doing what you're doing, man. That's it. And let's just keep taking it to the moon and keep staying positive, brother.
Absolutely. Frankie, I appreciate you being online tonight. And maybe we'll do this soon one day. And you guys, if you're looking to get into the kayak, tiny boat, canoe, whatever it takes scene, look up Slay Nation. If you're probably not this time of year, but if you're interested, like say Aaron and a couple others are joining Slay Nation, I think they'll be doing this next year. You know, you can hop on board with them, get in touch with Frankie. He'll set you up, probably throw you through the ringer. And
No,
he's good. He's a good dude. But but as he said earlier, he's not doing anything as far as like new directors right now because he's focusing on making sure everything runs smooth, and I fully respect that. So you guys want to get on board with Slay Nation next year, make sure you make an appointment to do that. And Frankie, with that, we'll say see you guys later, and we're out of here.
All right. Thanks a lot, Dwayne. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, buddy.